Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Today, we are breaking down my top 5 players to watch against the Cleveland Browns preseason week 2. Guys, if you are new to the channel, please be sure to smash that subscribe button. Let's go! All right, before we get into my top 5, I've got an honorable mention, a guy on the bubble, and that is Reed Blankenship. This is a guy who led the Eagles with 8 tackles against the New York Jets last week. While he wasn't great in coverage, he played great against the run. I think safety depth is probably the most open roster spot on the defense right now, and more games like this against the Cleveland Browns could keep him on the roster. He's been getting the majority of his reps with the third string, while Anthony Harris and Jaquiski Tart continue to disappoint. Blankenship has really good size and decent enough athleticism, and he has shown throughout camp that he has good instincts. I think it could be a contributing special teamer right off the bat with the chance of growing into a role in the regular defense. I think Sunday's game against the Browns is vital for Reed Blankenship, and I'm excited to see what he does. Let's move on to my number 5. All right, coming in number 5 in my top 5 players to watch against the Cleveland Browns is Noah Togiai. The young tight end has had a solid camp and even a more solid performance in the preseason last week against the Jets with 4 catches and 29 yards. The truth of the matter is Grant Calcaterra has missed significant time at camp, leaving the door wide open for Togiai to make the Eagles' 53-man roster. He's had a very good camp, cementing himself as tight end 2 behind Dallas Goedert. Most importantly, Togiai and Reed Sinnett appear to be on the same wavelength, which bodes well for him against the Browns this weekend. I think Noah Togiai has also looked decent with his run blocking. This week, the Eagles announced on Monday that they sent J-Jaw packing, and right now it sounds like Richard Rodgers is on the out while Noah Togiai is on the in. This is a guy that's on the bubble that needs a big game on Sunday against the Browns to make the final roster. Let's move on to my number 4. Coming in number 4 in my top 5 to watch against Cleveland is Kenny Gainwell. Running back Kenny Gainwell was back at practice on Sunday, the first time since suffering a hip injury. Gainwell was running with the first team offense and reportedly looked just as quick as he did before the injury. He also reportedly looks very good in the one-on-one blocking drills against the linebackers. Most importantly, it's week 2 of the preseason, and Miles Sanders is already dinged up with a sore hamstring. I expect a decent amount of Kenny Gainwell this week against the Browns. And even before Miles Sanders' injury, I see Gainwell as a guy who's a much better fit with the Eagles' hurry-up, high-tempo offense in 2022. If you look at Gainwell's first 4 weeks of last season, before they went ultra run heavy, Gainwell ranked 3rd in target per route run among running backs, as well as the 7th best running back yards per route run over that stretch. We're going to see a more balanced Philadelphia offense in 2022, and I expect Kenny Gainwell to see his touches gradually increase as the season progresses, especially with Miles Sanders on the sideline. Let's move on to my number 3. Coming at number 3 in my rankings is Cam Jurgens. Jurgens worked with the 1s and 2s on Friday night, and man, he looked fantastic. This guy paved the way multiple times in the run game, earning a team-high 86.0 run blocking grade in his first NFL game. He's got that combination of speed, power, and athleticism that Jason Kelce has. And while it's not fair to either one of them to keep making that comparison, I really don't care. His natural athleticism was arguably the biggest standout in week 1 of the preseason. The way he gets out in space, the way he runs with fluidity, this is a guy who played basketball and tight end, and it's beyond obvious. What's even more exciting is that this is a guy who's only been playing the offensive line for 2 years. And none of his game looked raw to me, at least on Friday night. The vision and ability to find linebackers in the open field and then neutralize them from the play was outstanding. I think the next question in play when it comes to Cam Jurgens is, can this guy play some snaps at guard? He looks that freaking good. Regardless, he's put to bed all the concerns about backup center for a long time. Cam Jurgens has a real chance to be a difference maker at the center position, and I can't wait to see him play against the Cleveland Browns. Let's move on to my number 2. Number 2 in my top 5 to watch is Jordan Davis. After watching him push around the Jets' starting offensive line, he has to be on this list. Jordan Davis has been the rock throughout training camp, and we've already seen him draw consistent double teams and busting up run plays in his first NFL game. I absolutely love seeing Davis's pressure allow some of the other defensive linemen get some pressure. This is a guy who's going to be such a handful in the middle of the Eagles' defense. Davis will allow the Eagles to play with light boxes because of his ability to disrupt the run. There are people out there already screaming about the lack of sacks or lack of tackles from that Jets game. A little news flash for all the casuals. That's not what Jordan Davis does. Jordan Davis's job is to make opposing running backs dance in the backfield just a little bit longer so that the Eagles' second and third level defenders can get to their spots. With starting defensive tackle Javon Hargrave still nursing a toe sprain, I think Jordan Davis could see a little more first-team reps on Sunday against the Browns. Jordan Davis will be going up against J.C. Tretter this week in Cleveland. Tretter is one of the best setters in the NFL. He's recorded pass blocking grades of 80 or more in 6 consecutive seasons. He also had a fantastic season with the Browns last year, recording a career-high run blocking grade of 76.5. Dominating Connor McGovern of the Jets is one thing, but if Jordan Davis has another impact game on Sunday against J.C. Tretter, then my goodness, Eagles faithful should be really excited. Let's move on to my number 1. Coming in number 1 in my rankings is Devontae Smith. If there was any takeaway from Devontae last season, it's that he should have had more targets, more yards, and more touchdowns. The dude was a beast, and there were plenty of times the Eagles should have gotten him more involved. Smith was back at practice this week and heavily targeted. At one point in practice, he got 3 of the first 6 passes thrown his way. Devontae said later that there was no concerted effort to get him the ball more, saying it was more of the way the defense was playing coverage. This is exactly why Devontae Smith is going to have a huge year in 2022. Devontae going up against CB2s and slot corners is a mismatch waiting to happen every single week. He's also been matched up a lot with James Bradbury during camp, who is a much more physical and bigger cornerback. However, assuming the starters play on Sunday, the Eagles take on a top 3 secondary on Sunday against Cleveland. The Browns not only have proven studs in Ward and Johnson, but also 3 ascending top 50 draft picks in Newsome, Williams, and Delpit. It's going to be an epic test for Devontae Smith on Sunday versus the Cleveland Browns. I cannot wait. So those are my top 5 Eagles players to watch against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. Do you guys disagree or agree? Let me know down in that comment section below or message me on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot. Thank you everybody for watching. If you love the birds, give this video a like. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.